Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. It's a beautiful day and we've got a box here we're going to unbox, and it's going to show you something that's really very interesting. It's in the high-end category. Great attention to detail, a lot of the higher-end components like Gorilla Glass, stuff like that. And it's called the M5, and it's coming to us from a brand new partner that is breaking into the Amazon world. You know, most of the time we have to buy overseas through one of the big distributors or AliExpress, but this one is on Amazon right now, and I'm going to show you the M5 here in just a minute once we talk about it. The actual company name on this one is Anmino, Anmino Smartwatch. There's a little picture of it, and this is from the Amazon page. Just the extract of the information that counts. It's running up here about $59. We could get you a discount coupon, I hope, that you can apply. Just check the show notes down below. And all that little print right there is blown up here so you can read about it. It's got, well, let's just start in, a 1.3-inch touch screen with Corning Gorilla Glass like I was talking about. And it's got a really nice skin-sensitive silicone strap, which you'll see, with quick release design, so you can definitely take it off and change it out. As far as GPS goes now, it's using the most advanced chip with GPS plus GLONASS plus Beidou. Pretty much you can get your tracking anywhere in the world. Multi-sport mode with indoor, outdoor, cycling, climbing, even marathon is supported with this one. It's also got a compass, altitude, barometer. Are you starting to see why I'm bringing this one in for you? It's a really nice watch. Not only does it have all of the sporting kind of stuff, but it does well in the health area as well. We have dynamic heart rate and blood pressure using a special low-power infrared body sensing processor. That gives it the opportunity to measure everything 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and it includes breath training. So you have a breathing training function with scientific guidance of your breath rhythms to help you relax and unstress. Yeah. Show it to us, Mr. Ticks. No, I'm going to make you listen a little bit longer. Okay, automatically monitoring your sleep stuff. That's in here. And give you the opportunity to understand your physical condition a lot better. Then you switch hats to the tethering, and you can get call and app notifications pushed right to it as well with the tethering app that you'll set up. And you got the alarm clock and timer and smart stopwatch and weather and calendar. It's almost like an Android watch in everything that it can do. On top of that, and this I found really impressive, they're pretty much serious about a 1 to 2 year warranty with good after-sales service. They're actually putting that in writing, and I know you haven't had that. Some of you have had watch issues, so you may be picking up a little bit of extra insurance that you've got a good device that will be well supported in the future if you buy this one, especially through Amazon, right? So overall specs are here. It's an IP67 waterproof device, stylish, what can I say? 256 color touch screen. Oh, by the way, the screen is really bright. It's bright. You can work with it outdoors and easily see it, which is another important factor, especially for health, fitness, and outdoor activities. Okay, the Anmino Smartwatch M5 comes with a charging dock. This is the only thing I wish I would have seen differently. I'm not a big fan of docks, especially these days when almost everything is either you pull off the arm of the watch and plug it right into USB, or it has a little 4-pin connector kind of a thing. Well, this watch actually does. Let's look at that. It actually has the connectors where you would expect to put a regular wire on it with a magnetic connection, right? But instead it comes with a clothespin that the pins are in here and they're in an arc, okay, that matches that. But folks, I gotta tell you, even though it's got the recessed segments here that should fall nicely into that, I have had a heck of a time getting it to align properly. Now it looks like I lucked out there, but if it's slightly tilted one way or another, it just doesn't connect. So you got to plug this in, you got to clip this on, and you got to wiggle it until you see the screen, flash the battery thing on it. Make sure you take the time to do that to get it right. Redesign of this, I would really like to see this one with a magnetic coupled wire that would attach to it. Being that it's removable bands, you're not going to get the USB in the band like you do on fitness bands, but definitely could improve on this a bit. But that's the only drawback. Other than that, it's a great watch, as you're going to see here in a moment. It's got this little cover on it. We'll take that off. And that reveals the watch. Ooh, got a little sticky on it. There we go. And a quick start manual. So let's give you the look at the manual. Right off the bat, it shows you the QR code that you're going to scan and download in order to tether this thing to your watch. Or, as we always do, we put that little link directly in the show notes. So click on there and you can connect it. Okay. Now we open it up. We're on the English side of this. Wow. All right, let's do it in segments like this. There's the buttons and the sensors, and there it shows you about the charging. You get down here, and it's giving you more information about the app and how you're going to connect it, and little color icons that represent the things that you'll be seeing icon-wise on the screen. Then it's showing you how to navigate the different screens. We do all that regularly here, so we'll see that live on the watch. And then the specifications and more information about the special instructions and exemptions and so forth, cleaning and whatnot. On the other side, we have it in Chinese. Okay, let's clear out the field here and turn it on for you. Oh wait, look, lingering in the bottom of the box is another card. This is their warranty card. And there's a QR code to scan for the warranty information. Front and back. Okay, now let's take a look at it. Here we go. Press on the upper button that has a little red section around it. You can see that right there. Oh, it vibrated. And there it goes, starting its boot up with really nice, bright, beautiful, clear colors. Colorful watch display, the whole works. Now here's that special band, and it really does feel nice. It's got adequate number of holes. Personally, I like to see the holes go further down, but they are close together, so when you put it on your wrist, it should be able to fit average arms, not really small ones or really large ones, but it should work on most folks. You've got the heart rate sensor in the back, the charging port, as we said before, Anmino, and two buttons on it. A nice bezel that's got markings all around it that's easy to read. Quick release tabs to pull the band off, and when you press the button, it comes into the basic watch face. When you slide down on here, now you get into a lot of different things. You can go into the different modes where you have turntable or 4 apps as the menu style. That's when you're scrolling through them. Your overall settings, your do not disturb, Bluetooth, which is turned on for tethering, and your overall saver that will put you into this time mode. Now, if you want a real nice watch that will last a long time, you go into that saver mode. You've got big digits and the battery current charge listed right on the screen. You slide down on it to get back to this face, and that's how you break out of it, by hitting the saver again. Plus, you can see all the other stuff on here as well. So once we're in here, we can't do anything else from here. Press the button, you can turn it off and on again, but come down, press that button, switches back, and now you're in the actual mode once you activate it. Okay, do not disturb, we talked about settings. We may as well just jump into there. This is where we have your international settings, which shows you the different languages that this thing supports. We'll run through those for you. A few, mostly European languages. And of course, auto sync will switch to the language of your phone. You've got your basic Bluetooth settings, power on and visibility on or off. Then we've got the clock where you can set that up, or it'll sync automatically with your watch or your phone. Your basic sound selections of the different types of ringtones and alert tones, the volume for each of those, where 6 is maximum. Then you're hitting your display, where you have, again, the style of icons that you want to see, the brightness. And notice it's on level 1 right now, which is the lowest. I can crank this puppy way up, and it's really good in bright outdoors when it's at that level. But for shooting on the video, I keep it a little bit lower. Let's try it here. And yeah, that looks good, huh? Oh, wait a minute. It's stuck with 1, 2, go up there, and then hit OK. There, now we're on brightness 3, a little bit brighter. And of course, you can set your screen timeout as high as 60 seconds, which I use for the reviews, and as low as 5 seconds. So we'll stick with 60. And then you got reset and overall about for this watch, which gives you the device name and information for pairing it, and your connection, service information, and your release time. So there's your firmware update information on it as well. Really nice overall. So we got to all of that once again by sliding down this way and all of this stuff. And notice that's the first dot of 4. So I can come over here. I've got all of these things: brightness, language, sound, vibration. And I've got a calendar, and I've got my temperature. It's not 32 degrees Fahrenheit where I am right now, I'll tell you that. So it probably needs to be tethered and updated and check the location that it's reporting. Maybe that's Shenzhen, I'm not sure. And then you're out of it. So you got several screens of information at the top. If I go to the left, I come over here to my sports stuff: indoor running, outdoor, riding, climbing, marathon, and a record of your last activities. And it does a really good job of capturing all of this stuff, which of course you can transfer over to your phone. I've used it a few times. Shows you the date and time, the elapsed time, your average heart rate through the whole thing, and all of this stuff. Distance traveled, altitude gained and lost. And if I get it all the way down, I guess that's about it. Yeah, your total altitude up, altitude down, and so forth. And of course, it's creating a track as well with GPS that you'll see when you tether it to your phone, and you'll be able to look at it there. Here's a short little hiking one. Basic same information that's available on it. And on any of these, like an outdoor run, you go into it, says GPS is off, you say start, it will search, and it doesn't begin until after it catches the satellites, so it knows your location, and then you can proceed to do the activity from there. So that's a really nice feature. Of course, we're indoors, so it's not picking up GPS right away, but it can pick it up pretty easily. I swipe down, and now I'm into this last event that I just did. Oh, there you go. It's just now counting down. So it's actually was remembering that it's going into an event, which is great. We can show you that. And it also has the time on the screen. So many of them don't do that. They show you your stuff, but not the time. So if you want to glance and see how you're doing with time, you can't see it. I'm going to end this one. And then there's the basic information for that short little burst that we did. And I can hit the check mark and get out of here. And if it were long enough to capture any information, that would be there as well. But this is the last one we just did. Okay, it's rolling it through, and that's the second page of information for it. Okay, we're getting it. And that's what happens when you scroll up. When you scroll down, you're into these 4 pages. When we scrolled left, we're over to here. And now finally, he says, come on back to the time. Scroll to the left that way. And now we get to all of the different things that we've got. We've got health. This is where we have pedometer, heart rate, and blood pressure. And it's using the diodes on the back. So for example, coming into heart rate, I can press and start it. And it's going to go into real-time measurement of the heart rate here. The diodes will come on when it sees your finger, and they're low-powered. You notice they're just a little bit green. They're not like violently exploding on you, which means you're going to get a good life of the battery with this as well while you're using this in the 24/7 mode for your heart rate. It's probably about right. I'm beating up into the mid 80s because I'm all excited talking to you guys, and it's taking its measurement. Okay, bail out of that. It's showing you a graph of all of that stuff as well. I think that's only page on here. And then you got the sports modes, and that's what we just looked at. It's the same thing as when you swiped over to the side. Here's notifications, and no, guys, I know you all want me to show you the notifications on the screen. How big is the font? Will it get WhatsApp? What'll it do with this and that? But I'm just going to show you that it's there, and move on to settings, which is what we already looked at. It's got a music control when you're tethered to the phone. It's got a calendar function in here, which we saw from one of those screens up above, and it's just a basic calendar. It doesn't do much more than that. Here's that whole relax section where you can go into these breathing modes, 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes of breathing, and you get quiet and take a breath, and it cycles you through relaxation, see, with an inhale and an exhale and so forth. Now, I don't know if it's monitoring your heart rate during all of this stuff too. Doesn't look like it. Be cool if it did, and it would gauge how fast to make you breathe with how high your heart rate is, and then bring you down by slowing it down over time. Haven't experimented that long with it, but at least it is here, and it's a way that you can use it for feedback in the relaxation section. Built-in alarms, sedentary reminders are right there. Then there's your find your phone when you're tethered, remote capture for taking pictures. Here is our barometric pressure. Not only do you get the current pressure, but you're going to get a graph. Now, we just started this thing and it just said nothing up until right now. But now that it's on and it's tracking, it should go up and down and show you your change in barometric pressure. And those of you knowing how to work with weather will recognize that you can monitor the pressure change in your area to predict whether it's going to rain or not. Here we have altitude, and this is absolute feet now that it's supposedly calculating. I say calibrate, if I can hit it. Well, all right, maybe it's doing it on the fly. 164 feet, I don't know if that's right for where I am. I think it's a little low, but it's giving you your current altitude, as opposed to those watches that you can set 0, and then it will show you your climb or your descent from that point. But if you go over to the actual fitness stuff, you can start a climb or a run or whatever, and it's going to give you the amount of distance you went up and went down, which is really sweet there. Compass is built into this thing. I always do this anyway to calibrate it and come around, and how's it doing? Not very good. I'm sitting in the north, so it should be pointing this way. That's the accurate measurement at 0 degrees. But compass needs a bit of work, at least mine does, or needs calibration or something. It's not whipping itself around so that the arrow is always pointed toward me. So that's a fault with it that needs some work. Then we got some tools, timer, stopwatch, and a calculator built into it with reasonable digits that are pretty easy to read, with a total, okay, multiple digits on it. Then what? Last things are motion, and this is where your wake-up gesture, you can turn that on. Of course, it's going to use more power, but theoretically now when I twist the wrist, it's going to come on, which is great. And then your overall theme. See the blue flower in the background? There's all kinds of different themes in here that you can choose. And I think that one's just plain black. Theme 2, there you go. See that? And some other ones there. And that is everything here. And I believe that's everything in the watch, except for watch faces. Press and hold. And now you see a different selection of watch faces that we can have on here. And again, it's a really bright screen. When you have the brightness set up, this is what it looks like on. Yeah. What are a couple of the other ones? Press and hold, slide over. That's the 6th one, it says. 7th one, here you go if you want a really bright, easy to read outdoor digital screen. 8, wow. 9, that's nice. Look at that one with the bright green. It's actually too bright, isn't it? It's washing out I have to turn it sideways for you to see. By the way, look, you can see it really clearly from the edge on, too. So a lot of different screens in here. 10, and there's number 1, 2, 3. We were on number 5, I think. 4. That's the one we were using. And I'm going to put it back on that one. Why not? All right, now let's take a look at the Tethering app. This one has been designed to work with the app Smart Time, which here it is from the Google Play Store. I'm going to open it. First time loading, you get a picture subtly in the background. You get the main page information on here. The exercise page, it shows you what it's going to look like. A heart rate page, an overall sleep for the night before, and then a start button. We start it. It says welcome in here, lets you agree to some policies. And then it lets you register by Google, Facebook, email, or phone, or go into a not logging mode, which is going to allow you to get your data, but it's not going to record that or send it to the cloud. You give it whatever nickname you want. I'm SWT for Smartwatch ticks on all of these. And go next. You can choose, I typically choose female in case it has tracking for female cycle information. That's an easy way to look at it. What age do I want? Let's pick that age, which would be 32. I'm going to go imperial. I'm going to leave it on the default height and weight, which is in English. So if you set it for metric, it'll be in metric. I usually go 8,000. And look, it's also showing you what the calories burned would be for that distance of walking, and approximately how long, what the distance would be in that too, equated to mileage, I guess. We apply the following permissions, so it's notifying you what permissions it needs to collect and why, which is nice. And then you just grant those permissions. Contacts if you want to, SMS if you want to, notifications, it takes you over there. You then have to turn all of that stuff on, which is way down here in, there it is, Smart Time. Yeah, I know, I got a ton of other apps in here, and nobody has as much as I've got, because I need them all for all the different watches. I've added a new app to the background and ignore optimizations, and done. We're finally here. Then I got to come over here and add a new device, right? And it's got to search for this thing. Okay, I've decided to change phones on you because I took this out and gathered some data. It's all on this phone and not the other one. So I'm doing that connection here. Same thing, just a different phone. And then we come up with this screen where we have a picture of what it should look like on the watch. And sure enough, it matches the picture on the watch. Hit the check mark. We are connecting. Bluetooth setting says power's on, visibility is off, so all you need is power on for it to work. Whoa, it's already that late. Well, we're time flying while we're having fun, right? Okay, we're here. I've got my profile, I've got device, we've got it connected, and I've got data. Now I'm coming back here to show you the data that's on the watch and the latest stuff that it did today. I've got my activity, I've got my heart rate, and I got my blood pressure, which I haven't taken on this thing. But what I want to show you is, and this is sleep time from the night before. I want to show you that if I go into calendar, let's go back 1 month, display, and let's pick up that first day, the 23rd, because there's stuff I want to show you. Here's the whole chart against a 10,000 step goal I had set at that time, and heart rate monitor and so forth. And then I got a little hiking thing going on right here. And it shows you the basic summary. And if you go into it, there you go. Now, what is this mess? It's a track of my house because I just turned it on and walked around in my neighborhood. But it's against the Google Maps. So if I zoom this out, you just see a little red spot around the house. And this is actually the dimensions of the house right in here. So it's calculating its data. You have your overall pace information, heart rate information during that time, and full listing of details. You'll get that on any of the other activities that you do on any of the dates that you record. Here's a bicycle example and so forth. You also have colored charts that explain everything to you. And again, you've got all of these different categories available. So that's the information page and how you get to the other pages. Here's all of the stuff you can control on the watch remotely from the app, including the 24-hour heart rate monitor. You can set start and end times, and it's basically set all night, and monitoring intervals as low as every 15 minutes or every 2 hours, depending on how much battery life you want to extend and so forth. This is upgrading the GPS data to the watch so it links up quicker and is highly accurate. And it looks like I have a firmware update waiting too. If you have a little red dot, you can update the firmware. That's pretty much it for the app. This is it for the watch, and this is where you can get it from Amazon. Just go into the link down below, Amazon.com. It'll take you over here to pick up the M5, yeah, from Anmino, Anmino, our newest partner here. Hopefully a lot more watches coming from them. They're a subsidiary of another company in China that's been doing watches for a long, long time. So we're looking forward to developing a good relationship and bringing you some other great quality watches. Again, this one has all kinds of good things going for it. Corning Gorilla glasses in it. It's got multiple GPS kind of things in it for tracking. It's a super bright screen, easy to see outdoors, and yeah, very nice design. So I would recommend it. Check it out, and we'll see you again soon.